This is Freddie from A.W.O.L Studios, and today I'm going to be helping some very new people to Unreal on how to actually learn how to paint landscapes so you can kind of do something like this. Maybe you're looking for a way to make some trails in your game and you can't really figure it out, things like that. So I have a very, very simple solution here. As you can see, I got some grass here, kind of like in a trail. And I'm going to show you today on actually how to do that. So let me just get out of this really quick. So I am working 100% off the starter content. Okay. So if I click on this one, I have a material that I've already made, which I called it terrain. So I'm just going to click on it just to kind of give you an idea on where we're going to be going. And let me just zoom this in. So essentially we're going to make all of this. So I'm going to leave this up here, but what we're going to do is just minimize. Go to anywhere in your starter content. We want to right click, go to material, and I'm going to name this terrain 01 test, and I'm going to leave it there. So now I have a blank little guy here. So double click on it. It's going to bring you with just this. There's nothing here, black ball. I always put it on here on a cube. Gives you a better visual. So I'm just going to minimize that, and I am literally going to go into all my textures. So you should have everything that I have here if you have the starter content. So let's just type grass. So we have a grass diffuse, so we want that one. So we're just going to take it, drag it in, don't do anything, zoom out a little bit. Take that one there, which should be the grass N. Kind of like a negative in a simple theory. And let's see what else we got. Let's see if we have rocks. Okay, let's see. We do. I'm just going to see. Yep. We have a texture there. So in order to paint the terrain, all the items must be textures. Now, this is for people who are extremely new to Unreal and don't know the difference between what a material is and what a texture is. And the game engine kind of simplifies it for you. If it's in a square, rectangular shape, texture. If it's in a circle shape, it is a material. So if I try to drag a material, it won't work. So this is all done with textures. So now I have that one that I dragged in, which was the diffuse bath salt. And I'm going to drop in the negative. So I am going to do that and that, and I'm going to see if I have something like sand. I do. I have sand. So I'm going to drag sand here. And I'm going to come back down and drag the negative of that. So now I got everything that I need. I would recommend to keep this a little bit organized for you. So we're going to start with everything right here, okay? So what we need to do is go to your UV, drag it out, and type the word landscape, and you want to do chords. And then you just want to connect all the UVs together. And just, there you go. You see how nothing's here yet? Because I haven't actually done what I need to do yet. So now I need to do what's called, so right click right here and type in landscape, and you want to look for layer blend. So when you first do this, it's going to have nothing in there, no information. So you just got to click on it, and then you want to add a layer. So let's start here. Usually what I do is I go 1, 2, 3. So the first layer I have up there is grass. Very important. You want to go from the weight blend, you want to click on it, change it to a height blend. When you do that, you see you have two now. So we're going to connect the top to the top, the bottom to the bottom. And then we're going to add another layer, which right here was our rocks. So we're just going to name it rock. Keep it simple. Rock, height blend, connect, connect, and then we have our sand here. So I'm simply going to click another add element, go down to it, sand, height blend, and connect. Wait, I forgot to do one thing. Nope, go back. Okay, forgot to put it on height blend. So now I should have my layer sand right there. So connect. What I'm going to do now is simply drag the node from this one to my base color. This should start rendering here in just a second. Alright, and while it's doing that, we have to do some stuff. I forgot to do the preview weights. So if all the preview weights are at 0, you're not going to see anything. So this is something that you're going to have to play with. So if you want it to be more grass, you want it to have the higher number. So for this one, we're going to do 1.0. We're going to do rocks at 0.5. And we're going to do, let's do sand at 0.25. Okay. And let's just hit apply. And we have our texture starting to go here. So you can kind of play around with this and see how it actually looks. And right now, grass is the dominant because I have the weight at the highest number. Now, this is something that you can really play around with and dial it in to how you want it to look. So we have that done here, but we're not done. So we have to go in the landscape coordinates. What you want to do, what I do anything from 4 and up. So I found a good balance between like 5.0 was very good on the mapping scale. And you get here by simply just clicking on that. And then you should see this window pop up. I don't do anything on rotation. 5.0, 5.0. And you could put something in here if you want to, but I'll just put test. And that's it. So this area is done. But we're not done yet. So what happens here is I have the 3 basic textures that I want. I have grass, rocks, and I have sand. But if I was to go and put this actually out, it's not going to look really that good because a lot of the detail is actually right here on the negatives. So what you want to do is click on this, Control C to copy, come down to this area, and then hit Control V. What I do is I go to the description and I type everything over, grass, and then it puts a little thing right here, and it's the same thing. It's going to go to grass. We're literally reenacting this. I'm just keeping it organized. Rock. It's going to go to rock. This one here is just going to be sand. And I'm going to do the same thing. Now, the whole entire material, you can really go absolutely crazy and really dig in. So this is just the absolute basic beginners. So we have a landscape coordinate here, and we have that dialed in. We need the same thing here, down here. So you can do that again by simply clicking it, Control C, come down here, Control V, and start connecting only the UVs to all the negatives. As you see, everything carried over. I didn't have to go back and manually enter it. So now I'm just going to zoom out a little bit, bring this down here, and I'm going to take this node right here, and I'm just going to drag it into normal. Now, there's a lot of other things that you could do to really, show roughness, things like that. If something is metal, metallic, spectacular, you could do all that. But if you wanted just to paint a basic landscape that you can actually take the paintbrush and paint it, this is going to be the best way to do it for beginners. And once this looks like this, you just always want to hit apply and then save. I recommend to keep it open. So now what you want to do is you want to go out to your main thing here. You want to go to your landscape. You want to obviously go to manage, selection tool, create a new landscape. I prefer not to do it very big, so I'm just going to shrink it down to, let's say, a 7x7, and I'm actually going to try to swing this thing out a little bit. So here is something that is probably happening two people, and nobody's really telling you how to actually get out. So we're going to go to the material that we created. So whatever it is you named it, mine was terrain 01, and I'm just going to drag it right in here, and I'm going to hit create. Now it's going to start compiling the shaders. This is something that's going to require some patience if you don't have a fully built rig or anything like that. But you're going to notice immediately that it's black. And sometimes it just stays black forever, and you're like, what the hell, it didn't work. Here's a reason why. You have not assigned any of your layers. So what we're going to do is click on this one right here. We're going to do a weighted blend layer. Save it to wherever you want to save it. Okay, so I apparently have that, so let me just name this test. Okay, I guess I got that one too. Test video. Try that one. Okay. Now you're going to see that it's starting to change. So I'm going to name the same thing, test video. And I'm going to hit OK. So now it went from black, and here is your actual grass. So let me just go here and just play from it. So here's your grass. This is the texture that you created with me just a little bit ago. It looks pretty realistic. You know, so that's pretty good. So we're just going to hit F11 to get back. Escape. Now I've noticed something. I'm missing sand. So we're going to go back and see why sand is not popping up. So let me just take a quick look at that. Okay, sand is connected. Sand is connected there. Okay, that's weird. Let me just check that out. Yeah, that's all good. So that's just really weird. Okay. If that happens to you, just work with what you got. Okay. So I want to paint rocks. So I'm just going to click on here. Now wherever I go and I put my little mouse here, you could kind of see rocks come up. This is normal. So once it starts processing, compiling, you're good to go. So I have a nice rock here. So I'm just going to sculpt up a little mountain really quick. Nothing too crazy. Just going to move everything up here. Come on. Make the brush a little bit bigger. Okay, that's a lot bigger than I wanted, but it is what it is. And I'm going to assume that you've worked on a basic landscape and played around with it and screwed up plenty of times. It is okay. Practice, practice, practice. And you will eventually get it. So I'm just going to make a basic little thing here. And I'm going to smooth out the top really quick. Kind of make it look like a little bit of a hill. So, go here, smooth it out. Actually, you know what? Let's just go big. Screw it. Okay. So that's our dinky mountain. We're going to go back to paint. We're going to go to rocks. Obviously, we don't want the brush size to be that big, so let's scale that down to something a little bit more controllable. And you can just start painting your terrain. And now this could work for other things, and I'm going to show you really quick. Let me just F11. So I got what looks like to be the base of a mountain, and of course you can, you know, really just play around with it and do all this crazy stuff. I'll leave the artistic ability up to you guys. Design whatever you need to do. This is just to kind of get you started here. And let's just go like that. And it's painted. So I'm going to go and do a play here really quick. I want to make sure that my texture looks pretty good. And okay, and it does. So the rocks are evenly spread out. The grass looks good. Yep, textures look pretty good. Yeah, so it looks like a very crappy mountain, but hey, it's okay. This is just a tutorial video. So there's my mountain, and I actually painted it. So I am going to go and just do a basic little thing here. I'm just going to flatten this really quick. Go, get out of there. just going to go flat, and I'm going to flatten all this. Maybe make this a little bit bigger. There you go, flat. I want it flat. Alright, so talking about making a trail in your game. So if you have a level laid out and you have your terrain on there, this won't work unless you make the material and then actually drag it back onto here where you can actually use your layers. Okay, so whatever you have, let's just make something really quick. Let's go to a tree, make sure that this is on here, and we're just going to paint some trees. And you kind of want to guide people through your trail. So here's your trail. Really can't see it, so let me put a dinky light here. Turn up the intensity. So there is my little trail that I want to make. So I'm going to go back to landscape. And would you look at that? Just sand just came back. Okay. So I don't know what happened there, but sand is back. So let's go to sand and let's assign that. That was really weird. Okay. Sand test video. Okay. So now we have sand, ladies and gentlemen. So I'm going to go on rock and I'm going to start painting my trail. And let me get a little bit closer here so you can see. Let me get into F11. Okay, damn, that light is bright. So I'm going to paint my trail to let my players know I want you to kind of walk here. Okay, I'm going to remove that light. So, sorry, guys, that thing is terrible. Or maybe I'll pull it up a little bit. Okay, a little bit more. Okay, that's reasonable. Go back to your paint, and I'm on that. Okay, cool, got that. And I'm just going to lead the trail out here. Okay, so now that I have sand, which magically appeared, I am definitely going to make sure I change my brush size down, and I'm going to just do about 100. And I'm just going to touch the outsides just a quick bit so that this renders, so I could see where I'm actually going later. So let's see how sand is looking. Oh, sand is looking like sand. Okay. So it's a sandy rock path mixed with grass. Really lovely. Now this also works on any texture that you get from the internet, whether you want to do mud trails or like simulate a car driving through it. This is how you could do it. Just follow the video. If you don't have the negatives on it and you don't have, you know, Photoshop and all that other stuff, it is a little bit of a pain in the ass. I'm not gonna lie. There is a couple of free programs that can actually help out a little bit, and I'm gonna actually see if I can actually hook you guys up with that really quick. Okay, so sand is looking pretty shitty, but it works. Let's just go back here to rocks, and I'm just gonna fine tune my brush, and I'm just gonna paint over. So we have our trail. So let's just see how it looks. Let's go from player here. Okay. So now I can kind of see a trail where I want to go. And yeah, and you've seen my trees. And I got a little path. So you guys can really dig into this. This is just a very easy beginner's tutorial on how to do a basic painting landscape. And when you get the fundamentals of how to make your materials, you can really do some masterful stuff here and really just create some crazy stuff. So what I did when I learned is I actually got some of the free content from Unreal, and I actually saw what they did, and I was like, well, okay, well, that's kind of cool. Let me see what I can do. And I try to learn and I try to mimic it, and I failed many times. So I was going to try to just see if I can find one for you really quick that was actually pretty insane. Nope, didn't mean to click on that one. Get out of there. And of course I don't have one. Really? Hang on, I'm going to find one for you guys so you guys could just kind of see some of the crazy stuff that you can actually really do. Okay, so let's go to Landscape Master. This is masterwork. And as you can see, somebody put some serious time in there. So, one day you guys will be able to get here and do this kind of stuff. For now, just keep it on the basics, and you will get there. It does take time, it does take practice, and it takes a lot of headache. So I'm just going to open back up my terrain material here that I created. All of these items here are textures. We created a layer blend to give it preview weight. We got the landscape coordinates. That helps with scaling these three images, where you can kind of put 5.0 was I feel is a good area on here, and then you can go to your layer blend and change your preview weight and things like that. So this is something that you could play with here. Okay, I didn't mean to do that, but I did change something when I was scrolling down. So I'm just going to always hit apply and save. Always do that, because if you don't, it won't render. And now I'm recompiling because I actually hit the thing here. So hopefully this helps out people. If you have any questions and you're new and you just want to kind of get a better understanding, just leave a comment and I will definitely make a video geared to your specific question, and hopefully this helps you guys out. So Freddie from A.W.O.L Studios, thank you guys very much.